Hi guys, so what we're talking about in the post is proper movement patterns. And the first exercise that I want to describe to you is the pull-up. So a couple of things can happen. First, we want to talk about hand placement on the bar and varying the degrees of hand placement, whether it be palms facing away from you, palms facing towards you, or even sometimes a neutral grip can change the outcome slightly. For this exercise that I'm going to talk about, we're just going to focus on palms away from you, so the standard or the old school pull-up. The next thing is hand placement needs to be slightly wider than shoulder width. So when you pull the bar down, or your chin up towards the bar, your hands will be slightly wider than shoulder width. And finally, we wanted to talk about scapular movement. Obviously, in a good movement pattern, the scapula, as I talked about, are going to come down and together. So first I'll demonstrate what it will look like with an improper movement pattern, and the shoulder blades you're going to see are going to elevate. So just standing away with my back away from the camera, it's going to look like this. Okay, that would be an improper movement pattern. The normal, or the good way to do it, the proper movement pattern, is going to look something like this. So I'll demonstrate that without using the pull-up bar. Okay. And the last thing we want to talk about are movement of the lower extremity. We want to make sure that we keep our legs squeezed together and tight and straight so that we can fully activate the core and decrease energy leaks as much as possible. So I'm going to get up on the pull-up bar and show a couple of examples. The first 2 or 3 repetitions that I'll show is what it may look like for an athlete to use that improper movement pattern again, where the shoulder blades kind of elevate, as we call it, or come up shrugging their shoulders. So here's an example of that. So if you see your athlete doing this might be a good time to add in, as I'm going to talk about later in the post, you'll see the band-assisted pull-up. Also, you can do the behind the neck pull-aparts, which basically kind of looks like what I showed you just from standing away from you, how my shoulder blades come together so that the athlete can educate themselves and learn that movement pattern. Then like I said, you can use the band-assisted pull-apart, the band-assisted pull-up to regress the exercise slightly so that they can perform proper repetitions and not just get 1 or 2, maybe they can get 4 or 5, and then once they start to progress, they can do a proper pull-up. So here's an example of 3 or 4 proper pull-ups with the shoulder blades moving down and my feet squeezed together. Here you go.